Hey guys, in this video we'll keep reading Dragon Masters, Rise of the Earth Dragon. In this video we're going to be reading chapters 13, Trouble in the Tunnel, and 14, Trapped. Chapter 13, Trouble in the Tunnel. Alright, in the last chapter, the Dragon Masters were sneaking downstairs to get their dragons and go outside at night. But as soon as Drake asked Worm to go outside, he heard a voice in his head. Okay, let's read. Did Worm just speak to me through his thoughts? Drake did not know what to think, but he had a feeling those words of warning had come from Worm. Ah, the words of warning. That means words that are warning you not to do something. Okay, let's keep going. Drake, what's the matter? Anna asked. I'm not sure, he said. What would they think if I told them I just heard words in my head? Worm doesn't want to go. Fine, stay here. Be a big chicken, Rory snapped. I didn't say I was staying, Drake shot back. I'll come along without Worm. As soon as he said it, Worm crawled out of the cave. Look, he is coming with us, Anna said. Drake didn't hear any more words in his head. Maybe Worm had changed his mind. Look at the picture. Look at Worm's face there. Well, he doesn't look too happy about it. All right, let's see what happens. Rory led Vulcan forward. Let's get moving. They headed into the long tunnel that led outside. The torches on the walls weren't lit, and their candles weren't doing much to light things up. Ah, the candles weren't doing much to light things up. That means the candles that they had were not making things very light at all. It was still very dark and hard to see. Capri can light the way, Anna said, but before she could give the command, Rory cried out, Look! Ah, give the command. That means before Anna could tell Capri could light to make some light. Okay, let's look at page 73. Drake craned his neck to look around the dragons in front of him. Ah, craned his neck. That means he peeked around the dragons, really stretched his neck out. Then he saw it. A glowing red orb floated towards them. It grew bigger and bigger as it got closer. Ah, a glowing red orb. An orb is kind of like a ball, and this ball is glowing and red. Think about how strange that would be. They're in a dark tunnel, and without any light, and a glowing red orb, or a glowing red ball, was floating towards them. Do you think it's something good or something bad? Let's find out. That looks like wizard's magic, Anna cried. But it is not Griffith's magic, said Bo. It feels scary. Just then, Vulcan let out a loud roar. His big tail thrashed back and forth. Ah, thrashed. That means he was smashing his tail left and right into the tunnel walls. Calm down, Vulcan, Rory yelled, but her dragon was very upset. Oh, what do you guys think? Why would Vulcan be so upset? Do you think he's scared of the red orb also? Let's find out. Whack! Whack! Vulcan's tail banged against the sides of the tunnel. His big body slammed against the walls. Capri and Shu cried out. They both tried to turn back. Only Worm stayed calm. Ah, calm means Worm didn't get excited like all the other dragons were. He was staying calm. That means he was breathing, his heart was okay. He was acting like everything was fine. The tunnel began to shake. Dirt fell from the walls. The Dragon Masters all looked at one another. Run! Drake yelled, but it was too late. The walls caved in around them. Caved in. That means the tunnel was collapsing. It was not turning into a tunnel anymore. All the dirt and rocks were falling on them. Whoa, that's very dangerous. Let's keep going. Chapter 14. Trapped. Drake ducked as dirt rained down. He closed his eyes tight. He ducked. That means he got down. And dirt rained down. So if something rains down, that means falls, and a lot of it. So this wasn't rain falling. It was dirt falling. Then the shaking stopped. Drake opened his eyes. All the candles had gone out. He looked behind him in the darkness. Worm, are you all right? Worm looked fine. In fact, he didn't have any dust on him. Everybody else was pretty dirty. Is everybody okay? Drake asked. Anna was on the ground. Bo helped her up. I'm fine, she said. That was scary, though. Rory walked over. I'm sorry, she said. I don't know why that weird ball of light made Vulcan freak out. Freak out. Freak out means get a little bit scared and do something very crazy. And weird means strange, means not normal. Okay. Drake looked around. Thankfully, it's gone now. That means Drake is happy that the red orb is gone. We should get back, Bo said nervously. Drake looked past Worm. The tunnel was blocked with rocks and dirt. I don't think we can, Drake said. The way outside is blocked too, Rory said. We are trapped, said Bo. He turned pale. Pale means like your face doesn't look very good, almost like you look sick. People do look pale when they're going to throw up or after they did throw up. Okay. Anna's dragon made a sad sound. It's okay, Khepri, Anna said, stroking Khepri's snout. Stroking. That means petting, kind of like a cat. And snout is when their nose and their mouth comes together. Can you give us some light, please? Khepri opened her mouth, and a beautiful white ball of light came out. The light hung in the air. Vulcan is strong, Rory said. He should be able to push through the rocks. Vulcan was calmer now that the red orb was gone. He pushed at the rock wall, but the rocks didn't budge. They didn't budge. That means they didn't move at all. Even though Vulcan was pushing as hard as he could, not one rock moved. Come on, Vulcan, Rory urged him, but Vulcan couldn't break through. That means Vulcan couldn't do what he wanted to do. He was trying to push through the rocks, make a hole there, but he couldn't do it. He couldn't break through. Bo spoke up. I could have Shu blast through the rocks with water. Blast through. That means use the water to push so hard that it would make a hole through. Anna frowned. What if it doesn't work? Then the tunnel will fill with water. Everybody was quiet. They knew Anna was right. They were stuck. Drake looked at Worm. Sorry I got you into this, he whispered. Drake was saying to Worm that he's sorry that he went to the tunnel. So then Worm followed. Because Worm didn't want to go, remember? Worm tried to tell him, don't go into the tunnel. Then Worm's green eyes started to glow. A green light swept from the top of Worm's head to the end of his tail. Whoa, look at the picture. It looks like Worm is shining. And I guess he's shining with green light. I wonder what's happening. Drake jumped back. Worm? felt something warm on his chest. He looked down to see that his dragonstone was glowing too. Anna, Rory, and Bo's mouth dropped open. Ooh, if their mouths dropped open, that means they were really surprised and they didn't know what to say. They stared at Worm and Drake. Worm's green glow filled the tunnel. Ah, his green glow. That means the light that is shining from him. And the light was filling the tunnel. It was making it bright green. Drake, it looks like your dragon's going to explode, Rory yelled. Ah, explode. That means blow up. Like a bomb. Okay, let's see what happens. Well, that's the end of chapter 14, guys. All right, thanks for reading with me. Let's see what happens in the next chapter. Bye-bye.